Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Socially Desi Show, the podcast that motivates you to live, create, and inspire. I'm Anurag, your friendly Desi neighbor. And before we begin, I hope everyone listening right now is safe at home. I pray for your health and well being. If this is your first time on the show, welcome. At the Socially Desi Show, our weekly podcasts feature episodes on personal growth, mental health, relationships, entrepreneurship, and health and fitness. We discuss tips and strategies with our guest speakers on how to tackle these problems and continue progressing towards becoming the best version of you. So hit that subscribe button and head over to our website at sociallydesi.com for more of such content. Out of the 7 billion people on our planet Earth, Jeff Bezos is the richest man amongst all. He needs no introduction. But here are a few stats. He is number 1 on the Forbes list of billionaires 2020. And with this, he is the richest man on earth with an approximate net worth of $140 billion as of today. Whether or not you believe that that's a worthwhile goal to learn a thing or two from anyone who has achieved such great heights as an entrepreneur or as a brand, I think it can at least teach you 2 things. First of all, it can teach you how to see the world more clearly, how to cut through society's delusional way of thinking and see the world the way it is and the way things really work. The second of all, to be able to navigate this world with confidence and intent and to get things done that most people don't even think are possible. So today on the Socially Desi Show, we are going to share the ultimate guide to Jeff Bezos' morning routine. And we are also going to analyze an interview by him, which he gave some time back, on how he goes about throughout this whole routine in detail. We will condense down the main parts from that hour-long interview and relish the hidden gems that will let you see the world more clearly and will make you capable to navigate this world to get more things done and the way you want and less things the way you don't want. A lot of you must be wondering, what does Jeff Bezos' routine looks like? Well, he wakes up naturally without an alarm clock. He reads the newspaper and has coffee. He has breakfast with his kids before they head out for school. Next, he sets up the first meeting of the day at 10 a.m. No meetings post 5 p.m. and he goes back to bed early in order to wake up early. Now that we have the routine in place, let's elaborate each routine and share a few key takeaways from this routine. Going by the interview, it's safe to say that Jeff Bezos wakes up somewhere between 7 or 8 a.m. As per him, he likes to putter in the mornings. This means he likes to have a relaxed and pleasant morning without hurrying up into things. He also wakes up naturally without the use of an alarm clock. His morning schedule is then followed by reading the newspaper while sipping on his favorite coffee. This gives his sense a boost as he begins his day learning and giving his body a shot of the good old caffeine. Jeff Bezos is a family man. The importance of family and dedicated time to them amidst all his busy schedule is vital for a healthy relationship. He has his breakfast with his kids before they head out to school. He sets up the first meeting of the day at 10 a.m. This is really crucial. He sets his first work meeting or any task related to work at 10 a.m. and nothing before that. This means he really spends his morning to relax and enjoy his life. One of the busiest and the wealthiest man on earth starts his work at 10 a.m. As per Bezos, he gets into decision fatigue by 5 p.m. This is the time when his productivity levels are really low when it comes to making important decisions, and in the life of Jeff Bezos, making decisions is most critical. He explains that he is not required to do thousands of tasks in a day. He is required to make a handful of decisions that will get those thousands of tasks done more efficiently and profitably. So whenever there are decisions to be made post 5 p.m., he schedules them for the next day at 10 a.m. A healthy mind and body are crucial for a healthy daily routine, and running a multi-billion-dollar empire is no joke. There's a lot of stress, stakeholder expectations, and customer experiences to handle. Bezos insists that having an early kickstart to the day, sleeping early and getting sound sleep is essential. So this was the daily routine of Jeff Bezos. And when I saw his interview the other day on YouTube, I was amazed by this routine. How simple yet effective it was. How well managed his routine throughout the day looked like. And it captivated my mind and my imagination. So here's what my routine looked like in the last 14 days while following Jeff Bezos' routine. I woke up at 7 am. I'll be frank, it was hard at first. Change in your waking up cycle is never easy. The first 2 days I woke up at 7:30 even with the help of an alarm. It was because I kept snoozing the alarm and keep going back to sleep. Third day was my first breakthrough when I woke up at 7, but again it was with the help of my alarm clock. Eventually, day 6 I believe was when I got rid of the alarm clock altogether. It felt amazing, to be honest. When I started waking up at 7 in the morning, everything changed. Have you ever woken up early and opened the windows? The feeling of the cool breeze on your face is just divine. I suddenly realized how much time I had. I could do a lot of things even before I start prepping for my day. After getting fresh, I made some hot coffee for myself while reading the latest news on the InShots app. Since the lockdown is going on, all newspaper distribution services are closed. So digital is the way to go and to consume all my daily news fix. This habit kickstarted my brain. The caffeine and those few minutes of actively reading the news boosted the creative engine of my mind, and I felt vigilant and active. After the reading and the tasty coffee session, I helped my mom cook some delicious breakfast for our family. We sat down together and had breakfast. We had casual talks together, discussed news and current affairs, shared a laugh, and sometimes we would FaceTime my brother who is stuck in Bangalore due to the lockdown. This simple exercise improved the relationship that I had with my parents. Mobile phones and busy schedules of our lives made us drift apart a bit, I believe. We lived in the same house but hardly spoke to one another. We felt more connected while sitting together and talking about random stuff. Breakfast is the best time to connect with your family, and this routine actually helped me to do this. Post my breakfast, I sat down with my office work around 10 am each day and took a bird's eye view of how my work was laid out throughout the week, and then I closed it down on the particulars for the day. Scheduling all my meetings and work post 10 am had a significant impact on my work schedule. It made me stress-free, number one, as I don't have to worry about anything that might come up before 10 am. It compelled me to take important meetings and decisions regarding work first thing in the morning, which was at 10 am. It made me prioritize work and get better at time management. I stopped any work-related decision-making post 5 pm. Not having to make any crucial decisions after 5 pm was a bliss. Many of you might think this is impossible, dude, but let me tell you, all decisions that required me to handle them after 5 pm, I rescheduled them to the next day at 10 am. It was harder at first, and it's harder than it sounds, but it made me a better decision maker. Scheduling and rescheduling helped me polish my leadership skills. A leader has to make tough decisions all the time, and sometimes I have to live with those decisions. I grew smarter and more aware of my decision-making skills. Sure, I made a few mistakes along the way, but I learned. As an entrepreneur, it's easy to get caught up in the rut and burn out while making decisions daily. Decision-making is crucial as it can make or break your business. So this routine actually helped me to prioritize and make better decisions within the time and reschedule others to the next day. Jeff Bezos' routine also helped me to focus on what's on my work plate at the moment rather than fussing about what I could do in the future. Focus is important because the more decisions you make, the worse these decisions get. So it's vital to make sure the crucial decisions are taken first so that they can be the best decisions of the day for you. I went to bed around 12 midnight. I usually got done with my work by 8 pm and then I tried to sleep by midnight. It was hard initially as I was used to binge watching at night and my sleep pattern was all messed up. By sleeping at 12 and waking up the next day at 7, it gave me a 7 hours of mindful sleep, which actually boosted my energy. I felt energetic, active, and ready to roll, while in the older days I felt lazy. It was difficult to get out of bed early mornings. So what were my learnings through this whole experience in the last 14 days? Well, how crazy is that the richest man on earth finds time in his mornings to relax and actually enjoy his life? It shows that the excuse of not having enough time is entirely invalid. Finding ways to optimize, systemize, and delegate your time so that you have more time to your life is actually really vital. What I learned in these 14 days are as follows. First of all, short-term relaxation is in fact long-term productive. By taking time in the mornings to relax, you're actually increasing your productivity throughout the day. Since you start your day proactively, decide on what you want to do instead of reacting and responding to everything and going crazy in trying to catch up. Second of all, explore your creativity by doing meaningless menial tasks. It is scientifically proven that doing meaningless menial tasks actually improves your mornings. It improves your mind's creativity. For example, walking or doing the dishes or even making breakfast is actually really helpful in the mornings. And this is what Jeff Bezos likes to do. And third, buttering is good because it's a reminder to enjoy the process. In life, we have goals and goals are reasonable. But you have got to remember that there's a chance that you are not going to reach these goals. So you have got to make sure that you're enjoying the journey and the process in trying to achieve these goals. Because if you're not enjoying the process and you don't reach those goals, there'll be a lot of time wasted and you will be frustrated. Whereas, if you enjoy the journey and embrace the outcome, whether or not you reach the goal, but since you're enjoying the process, everything will be alright and it will be an experience of a lifetime. Here's what you should not do while following the Jeff Bezos' routine. Don't sleep less than 7 hours. This will make you feel tired and lazy upon waking up. You don't want that feeling. You should get up, have good enough sound sleep, and wake up fresh. You also don't want to wake up at 5 a.m. every morning. That's not required. As long as you are getting enough sleep, even waking up at 8 or 7 is okay. Don't hit that snooze button. The idea to get rid of the alarm clock altogether is not to try and hit the snooze button. But I understand it's not always possible for everyone. It takes time. Even it took time for me too. The body requires time to set its clock. So take your time but avoid hitting snooze on your alarm clock every 5 minutes. Wake up as soon as the alarm goes off. Don't rush into things. Upon waking up, try to avoid the urge to check your email or anything related to work. The urge to get the job done right away might rush you into things. And the whole idea of a relaxed and minimal morning routine will go to waste. Don't drag yourself alone during the morning hours. Spend your mornings with your loved ones. Do exercise or yoga, cook your favorite meal, sit with your family, your children. Just talk to them. Do whatever makes you happy, but don't be alone. Before we wrap up this podcast, let's talk about Jeff Bezos' fundamental beliefs. In life, there are some things that you can control and there are things that you cannot. Even if you're displaying the best of your abilities, there are situations where things will not be going your way. For example, when I create a blog or a podcast, I feel amazing. Creating my content is something that's under my control. But if my blog doesn't generate huge traffic or my podcast doesn't attract more listeners, then no matter how good my blog or my podcast was, it's going to discourage me. Now, I should focus on what I can control and ask myself, did I make that blog or the podcast to the best of my ability? Switching my focus to this mindset will encourage me because in this journey, I'm getting better at creating blogs and publishing podcasts. So what is the key takeaway from this? Don't get caught up on things that you can't control constantly. Ask yourself whether it's something that you can or can't control. Focus on what's more important to you. The next fundamental belief is short-term sacrifices for long-term benefits. Remind yourself when you're doing all you can to the best of your abilities. What you're doing is really trying to improve yourself. But if things aren't going the way you want, remind yourself that if you keep taking positive actions, in the long run, positive actions will lead to positive outcomes and it will all come back to you. There may be some variation in the things that you're doing now and the results you're experiencing. But trust me, in the long run, everything will balance out and you will get what you deserve and worked hard for. That's just the way the world works. The key takeaway here is have faith in your efforts and don't get discouraged. Keep doing the best of your ability in the things that you can't control. So how does Jeff Bezos makes decisions? I want to minimize the number of regrets that I have in my life, and most of our regrets are acts of omission. They are the things we didn't try. It's the path we didn't take. These are the things that haunt us. What I'm trying to say is when you are confronted with a decision, ask yourself, which option am I going to regret the least? And go with that one. I actually used this mental model when I was deciding whether or not to drop out of my full-time job and start my own business. And when I asked myself this question, what am I gonna regret more? It was obvious to me. I dropped out of my full-time job and pursued my business full-time. What is the key takeaway from this? I really like this mental model because regret is one of those things that once you regret something, you can't really change the feeling. The thing you regret is now in the past. So by trying to live a life of minimized regrets, you are living the life through a lens that allows you to live a life that you are proud of. Let's talk about the results that I achieved in these last 14 days. I think it's a perfect way to live life thinking about what are the things that are important to you. What are the things that will move the needle? And once you find those 3-4 activities, you execute on them relentlessly. Having applied this routine in my daily life for the past 14 days, especially when the entire world is under lockdown, what was the impact? Have I noticed any change? The answer is a big yes. One specific change was by slowing down and relaxing in the morning. I found that I have been happier and I've gotten more done in less time. I've been able to get more done, and the reason for that is because I'm ready to proactively get on it. I cut out the noise before I take time to relax and enjoy the process. I found that when I'm in a better mood, I get things done in a better way. And I think it comes down to the quote that slow is smooth and smooth is fast. By taking things slow, I have a smooth morning where I'm in control. I feel happy, I feel relaxed, and by having a quiet morning, the result is smooth and fast to my ability to get things done. That wraps it up for today, folks. I would highly recommend trying out this routine and feeling the difference yourself. If you liked the episode, give it a big thumbs up, share it with your friends, and let's go viral. Remember to check out our website sociallydesi.com for the latest blogs and guest discussions beyond podcasts. And as always, before I sign off, remember, life is black and white and everything in between.